Hello and welcome to the first ever poker battle of MBTI cognitive function poker between LiJo and Host Eric. We're going to go ahead and start right off with the hand. This is hand one. There's going to be 16 total hands. We'll try to explain what's going on a bit as we proceed. So Rachel is off to the side who's going to deal our hands to us. This is my card. That's LiJo's. My card. That's LiJo's. And then Rachel's going to text LiJo what she gets. And she's not going to tell me. And I'm going to look here at this two cards and see which two cognitive functions I get. I get two cognitive functions, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reveal the scenario that hand one is responding to. So, shows you right here, Jill, a foreign exchange student, is coming to live with your family. Your job is to minimize her culture shock and make her feel at home. The question for each LiJo and I have is, will our cognitive functions that we've been dealt serve well for this purpose or poorly? And you can see how the score is kept. I just revealed S, I, F, E are good things here, N, E, T, E are bad things. At the end of the hand, we'll discuss how our hand would have performed in this comparable situation. Okay, so LiJo, we're going to assume that I'm the dealer first, so you can either bet or check.
And then if you do bet, can I raise? Can we
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's limit.
Okay. Okay, I'll check.
Okay. I will check too, which means it's a fold. There's no blinds or antes, so we don't have to worry about that. And
Okay.
let's reveal our hands. I had NITI, which is to say somewhere in beta quadra you got these two in the front stack. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be a logical reality. That it could be two functions that don't go on the same side of stack. But what did you get, LiJo?
I had FE and I was kind of hoping that you were going to bet so that I could raise you, but I'll take it. So
Okay, so I'll start with this hand. How it would have performed in this situation? Well, TI and I are not necessarily great functions to make somebody feel at home and minimize culture shock because the TI is going to be holding them accountable for their words and language and precision in that regard rather than making them feel comfortable. They're likely to get nitpicked about being incorrect about something. And regarding the NI, if it's paired with TI, it's also paired with FE. But it depends where in the quadra you are. If you're an ISTP, the Jill here may be the recipient of a lot of blunt and harsh comments.
poor Jill.
And you had which two, you said?
I had FE and I, which I think would actually be a pretty good hand to have in this scenario. Because Effie is going to be tuning into the collective and the needs of Jill and what Jill may find important, and probably into some things related to Jill's culture and what she values. And the NI, I think, still isn't a terrible card to have because it'll make some good inferences on maybe how they can help Jill and what can make Jill feel more comfortable. Now, it might not be as good as actioning those in the present state and setting things up for her in a way that she feels maybe that level of comfort, but she will feel, I think, more connected to Jill having those two functions.
Yeah, I would say that SI would be more platinum rule-y with FE in the sense that it would craft the thing specifically to that individual, whereas NI
Mm-hmm.
would be more golden rule. I'll always treat
Mm-hmm.
you fairly and stuff. So regardless, I agree, not a bad combo. Okay, let's go to the second hand here. I will reveal it. Our scores, we still each have all of our chips. Amazingly, I didn't lose any chips on the first hand. The second scenario, a family member has approached you and asked you to manage their money for long-term growth and stability. The family member is very risk-averse. So, Rachel, please deal the cards.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, so I'm going to look at my hand. Okay. And now I will, for those of you at home, reveal the scoring points thing here. Keeping in mind, friends at home, that you can have a maximum score of 2 per hand, a minimum score of -2, or anything in between. So there'll probably be a decent amount of pushing in this game. So, okay, now it's my turn to act first. I'm going to bet 5. All bets are 5.
So you're betting 5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fold.
Okay. So then nothing happens. We still have the same amount of money. Now we reveal our hands. I had SITI, so I had one of the things at least.
Yeah, and I had FIFE, so not the best hand.
FIFE, right. With your 2 feeling functions, you're probably going to be inclined to both care a lot about the person and also want to schmooze them a lot concurrently without really doing much of anything or being correct about stuff.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the best to action, probably, good market assessments.
Right. So I was imagining that if you're going very risk averse, probably ESTJ is your best bet for this
Yeah,
scenario, right?
I'd agree.
Okay, are we ready to go on to the third hand?
Let's do it.
We're still even Steven. Third scenario, the cards for the dealer of the scenario have been dealt, and it says an IRL meetup of an internet community has grown quiet and awkward as most of the people are overly prim and concerned about appearances. You need to show them a good time.
Oh boy.
So, for those of you at home who are waiting a second to figure out which type this is custom made for, well, I will reveal the scoring matrix right now, and it is SEFI. So this is custom scenario for the ESFP. Let's see what cards I got. Okay.
All right.
So I guess you act first?
Actions on me. Yep. I'm going to check.
Okay. I'm going to check too. So that means the hand's over. I got NE and NI. A double intuition burst here.
And I got TI and TI.
Double TI. You got double TI. Well, you'd be really good at criticizing everybody into loosening up, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I think the approach is you just kind of go so hard on everyone that everyone's like, you know what, we can't really take this that seriously anyway, and then everyone just eventually loosens up because everyone's just at each other's throats after a while.
How do you think the ESFP approaches this scenario?
I think the ESFP would they would probably find something in the environment that would provide some like novel value, maybe like a game of sorts, maybe one of those games where you throw the thing at the hole, the beanbag thing or something like that, or yeah, like a cornhole. I could see them bringing one of those out and then establishing some kind of vibe with others, getting them to join in like an activity or something.
I mean, I think the simplest answer is shots.
See, yeah, that probably would be the easiest answer.
Okay, so let's go on to the next hand. We've got your job is to write poetry that conveys the depth and breadth of otherwise ineffable human feelings.
Ooh.
So, this is, if you're, go ahead and deal, Rachel, thank you. If you're wondering which type could possibly this be referencing, well, you probably won't actually be too surprised to discover that it is my supervisor, the INFP. So, we've customized the scenario for INFP. Let's see what cards I get. Okay.
Actually, the band that the bluegrass band I played with the longest, our lyricist and guitar player was an INFP as well. Wrote great lyrics.
Did he express the depth and breadth of otherwise ineffable human emotions?
Absolutely, actually.
Okay.
All right. Action's on you.
All right, I bet.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fold.
Okay. Well, I had one of them. I had FI. And I had TI,
Okay.
but I had TI with it. So
Ooh.
it's like you can imagine a person in great conflict with themselves who's both trying to understand what they really truly want and concurrently
Hmm.
trying to understand what is linguistically correct. This has become into conflict
Hmm.
so much, you know. They never get anything done. It's
Yeah.
ultra deliberative.
Yeah. And for myself, I had FE and TE, which I think is equally not great because the person's going to be so focused outside of their self, and there's going to be very little introspection to add into the meaningful lyrics. So I don't think that's really, I mean, they might make a good pop song that everyone, likes for a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a particularly deep or meaningful song.
They spend all their time solving problems and making sure people understand that they solve those problems.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next hand. I believe we are still, neither of us have taken any risky chances here. We're still dead
We
even.
haven't.
Maybe 100 were too many things to give us to start off with. Okay, the next hand. Your job is to win arguments about politics on the internet by having the best arguments. It's pretty obvious what type this is for.
Hmm.
With a little bit of a self-serving description. I'll concede that. A little bit of FI involved there. Okay, here's the scoring matrix for those of you at home. If you have any TI, that's +1. If you have FISI, it's -1. And to clarify, the way that the minuses are gotten, it's the fourth and seventh slot of the type that the scenario is customized for. So one interesting thing about this chart you'll note is that, say, that two types have the same weak spots. So what ENTP is badly suited for, also ENTJ is badly suited for, interestingly. And you can find that for each of the types on this chart. Okay, so who's the action on? You?
Action is on me. And for this hand, I am going to check.
I'll bet.
And I will fold.
Okay, so I had ENFP here. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. The thing is, the ENFP can do a good job of winning arguments about politics on the internet.
Hmm.
They just don't do it by having the best arguments. They do it by being
Right.
stubborn and dissembling. What did you have?
Yeah. I had again I had FIFE. So I I think there could be arguments certainly, but I don't know if they would necessarily be winning arguments. Um, they would definitely be fueled
they
by passion.
they either be stubbornly defending their boundaries, or um, begrudgingly allowing them to be crossed for the common good.
Yeah. The whole time.
Yeah. Okay, so we go on to hand 6. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate uh, your contributions here, even though you can't hear LiJo. You are a professional gamer specializing in Fortnite, Call of Duty, and other such shooters. Interesting. Okay, can you please deal the cards, Rachel? Okay, so I will reveal now the scores on this. It is customized for ISTP, and the weak spots of ISTP are FE and E. So, and I can tell you, as somebody who plays some video games occasionally, NE is not a good function for video games. It just isn't. You think, I want to try it differently, not how it works best, you know. Okay, so the action's on me.
Yes.
I check.
I bet.
I fold.
Okay. So I had a NESI. So while maybe not the best two functions to have, we do have a sensory function in there, and we do have an exploratory expert intuition there. So
Well,
I think that they could get the job done.
well, we both had -1 though in our scores.
Yeah.
I had FE in mine. I had FE and NI. So it's like, well, that's like Rachel in IFE. She's
Mhm.
not really that good at Call of Duty, are you?
No.
And she, when she was dating an ISTP, he used to get mad at her for not being good enough at certain video games.
That's very TISD-ish.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay, next hand. And Rachel, if you can deal as soon as you have a chance to, and then you can text her so there's not a delay, that'd be fantastic. 7. Your job is to figure out how to integrate blockchain tech along with other modules to create and sell a unique line of TWFP LiJo collectible NFTs available for purchase on YouTube with no other vendor in between. That's a tall order. Who could possibly do something like that? I don't know. Not ENTP probably, but let's find out. I'm going to reveal the scoring matrix now. And it looks like this one's been customized for the INTJ personality type. And their weak spots, their 4 and 7, are SE and, oops, it says FI, but it should say FE. Let me fix that.
You know, it's funny when I read this one, I was like, actually, do you know what? You could probably figure out how to do this.
Probably not.
I don't know. Some of those integrated apps that work with the merch lines.
Well, it's like that kind of shit that even if I could figure it out, I just want to delegate it because it sounds so fucking
no.
awful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what I got. Okay. Who's the action to?
I think it's on me
Okay.
first. Check.
I bet.
I'm gonna have to fold with this hand.
Okay. Well, I got an ISTJ.
Okay.
And I think that, an ISTJ is not great for this, but they got the TE.
Yeah.
They're going to probably have to have taken some, like, computer engineering classes. It's not like they're going to figure it out themselves. But if they trained for it, they'd probably do a fine job.
Yeah. Or I feel like they would get like halfway and then kind of get frustrated with something and then filing either an ENTP or like an INTJ to help them out.
Right. It needs somebody to come in and do the intuitive work, but they could, if they understood the process he once explained to them and they knew from experience how to do that kind of thing, they could probably execute it okay.
Yeah, I agree. I got FIFE, which seem to be my cards for this game. And yeah, I don't think I don't think they're doing it.
The only way you're doing it is by schmoozing somebody else into doing it for you because you
There
really,
you go.
really want it.
Yeah, there we go. Hey,
Okay.
if you get there, you get there.
Hand number 8. I'm gonna reveal it right here. It says your job is to be a monk in the Middle Ages who has taken a vow of silence. You breed hybrid tea roses and generate botanical drawings as a form of meditative prayer. What type could this one be customized for? Who's quiet and mysterious? Let's find out. I'll reveal the scoring matrix. You go ahead and deal, please. So you see, it's customized for ISFP, FISE, and that the weak spots, it's fine, I'll get it. The weak spots are TE and NE. That's their 4th and 7th. So I will see what I got here. Okay. I check.
Actions on you?
Reactions on you or me? I don't know.
No, I think it was you, so that's good. I'll bet.
I'll call.
Ooh. All right.
I got 0. I think you might not. I don't think you have anything either.
I actually have NISE.
You have NIS. Oh, you have an SE? Well, you win.
I got an SE. Yeah.
So I'm going to change the scores. You're going to see an update on the scorekeeping chart here.
There we
It is
go.
now LJ105. and Host Eric 95.
All right, slowly creeping in. I mean, I think NISC is it's a fair play because SC is going to be attending to the hybrid T roses, hopefully not letting them die. And then, NI could help with the meditative prayer. They're going to be okay laying back a little bit. So the
Uh,
middle two functions in the stack. So
Yeah, absolutely. And ISFP does have NI as an absolute value, and that is consistent with the
mhm.
meditative prayer. And that's part of why this was customized for ISFP. My cards of SITI, well, I mean, you could imagine an INTP being okay at this, and they have
Mhm.
TI and SI as absolute values. But the thing is, they would be terrible at the botanical drawings. They look like a kindergartner drew them. So there's that. And I think they'd get bored eventually.
Yeah, I think they would get kind of angry after a while.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next one. We're halfway through this poker match, and we go on to hand 2. Scenario 9. Members of an acting troupe are arguing, yeah, go ahead, more and more as opening night approaches. They keep talking past each other without recognizing that they have conflicting frames that need to be put aside for the good of the show. Your job is to resolve the discord. Okay. Your turn to. Oh, let me reveal the scoring. So, on the scoring there, this is customized for ENFP. ENFP. So, I see what I need to do. This needs to go away. There. No. There. There. Okay. Now, I will see what cards I got. So you've got to smooth things over among people with very different frames of reference, all arguing and not really listening to each other. Okay, is it your turn to act first?
uh, I think so. I'm gonna bet.
I'm gonna call.
All right. What
I've
do you got?
I've got NENI.
I got FIFE.
Okay, so we push.
Split pot. Yep.
All right, so the thing is, obviously you can't have any NI on the same side of the function stack, and the reason is because if you're sort of creatively engaging everybody else's argumentation in ways that are accommodating everybody's unique feelings rather than what's generally correct, that's the best way to get everybody back on focus on, hey, we have a group goal here, let's put aside our differences. It's not actually and I wouldn't help at all. I would say, well, this is the single correct thing to say and think,
Mhm.
and so you people who are saying the other things, you're just wrong.
Yeah, and then the FIFE, while they would be good at tuning into and listening to the people who are part of the resolution part, I think would be hard to get to, especially having the introverted and extroverted feeling.
Right. There'd be a constant conflict between you should be a team player and you should be true to yourself.
Hmm. Can't be both.
You can't be both. Okay. Now we're going to go to the next one, which is hand number 10 of 16. So poker game's going by pretty quickly, huh?
It is.
Not as fast as online poker, but as fast as live poker, probably.
Yeah.
Your job is to maintain a family's home and grounds while they are wintering in Rio. You must be trustworthy, reliable, and like pets. Okay, so I will reveal the scoring matrix right here. Okay. I need to move those up so this is easier. All right, so SITE, this is customized for the ISTJ. And the reason is, of course, ISTJs are very good at sort of keeping track of all the time what, like ongoing little things, little projects and stuff like that, and maintaining things across time, being consistent. It's like the kind of shit that I have a lot of trouble with. Okay, so let's see what it's. My turn to act first, I believe. So I'm going to bet.
And I'm going to fold.
Okay. Well, I had the two T's, T-E-T-I. So the T-E is obviously useful in this kind of situation and sort of maintaining and fixing things that break down or whatever. The T-I is basically useless. It just sits around and says, well, where are the words to parse?
And I had FETI. So this, they would care for the pets and the fact that they wanted the family's house to be maintained, but probably not the most meticulous person to have tending to your garden.
Well, also, if they're away for a long time and you're kind of alone there, there's not a lot of social affirmation to keep you going with the
Yeah,
FE.
outside of the pets. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go on to hand number 11. Your job is to create a company that does something ordinary, like make electric cars, and convince everyone that you're a huge genius who sees the world's problems and solutions more clearly than others. who can this be?
I feel a little TI snarkiness coming out through this one.
A little bit. All right,
It was a little bit.
here are the cards being dealt. Thank you again, Rachel. And we'll go over to this one and see what the scoring matrix looks like. This one rewards TENI and it punishes FISI. And as I indicated, ENTJ has the same 4-7 as ENTP, just flipped around. So, okay. Let's see. Okay. It's LiJo's turn to act first. So, I'll take this opportunity to light a cigarette.
Okay, and I'm going to bet.
I'm going to raise.
Ooh, I'm going to call.
Okay. I got Elon Musk himself, TENI.
Ah, you got me. So I just have NI.
Oh, that's a pretty good hand anyway. Okay, so...
NISI.
Okay, so I have nothing to explain with this because TENI is perfectly for this, but can you explain how TESI would be worse?
I have NISI.
Oh, NISI, sorry.
Yeah, so having NISI, so the intuitive function that's the good one to convince the masses, that, oh, this thing is obviously better than all the other ones because this is how it comes together in a better way. But the SI would kind of weigh it down because it would then be bringing out too much of the details of the electronic cars, and then it would be quite obvious that they're actually not superior to the other ones. So,
and also it's like, the SI person goes, well, I've not started any electric car companies before, so
yeah,
maybe it's not a good idea.
a little bit too clear sometimes.
Okay, cool. So while Rachel's dealing the cards, I'll reveal the next scenario. This is hand 12. Oh, I got to update the score too. I actually won 10 on that one, I believe. So
yes.
Now it's the other way around on the score.
Uh-oh.
It's now 95-105. And the scenario says, your job... Oops, what happened? Your job is to lead people through a succession of fun games at a family Christmas party. You'll need to get prizes, of course, and make sure everyone participates. Probably should make some signs, too. Okay, so if you're at home wondering, what could they possibly be, which type could this possibly be, then you don't know very much about cognitive function. It is obviously customized for the ESFJ, which is the quintessential Cub Scout mom. Okay, so I'm looking at my cards.
Am I first to act?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bet.
I'm going to raise.
Ooh. I'm going to call.
Okay. Once again, ESFJ yourself, FESI.
He's not bluffing, folks.
I'm not bluffing. Yeah, because I'm a
uh,
terrible liar is why I don't really bluff very much.
oh, so we'll see. Now I know that. So I have FE.
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's a good one too. That's very suited for this with the SE, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with I think that of all the demonstrative functions, uh, 6 slot SE seems the most obviously demonstrative. Like
Mm-hmm.
I S, I mean, sorry, ESFJs and ESTJs are very dewy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
The extrovert sensing here, they'd probably make a very aesthetic sign,
I mean,
a beautiful sign.
they probably care about how it looks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say that my ESFJ ex-wife, she she would when we drive around and we'd see yard sale signs, she'd cluck at people for their bad signage.
Ugh.
Your job is to host a daytime TV show in which you empower people by helping them let go of their past and embrace the powerful, intuitive inner selves that comprises their real selves.
Hmm.
I think I should say that
Hmm.
comprise probably, but a subject verb agreement notwithstanding, uh, this one is customized for
Oprah.
exactly ENFJ, FENI. So, okay.
All right.
I'm going to check.
I am going to check as well.
Okay, well, I got the ultimate deliberator, FITI. Very poorly suited for hosting a daytime TV show.
Yeah, and mine is poorly suited as well. I have NE. So it's gonna be the world's most chaotic daytime show you've ever seen in your entire life.
That's just like one of my live streams.
Yeah. The circus is gonna be there. Dr. Phil like walks through wearing a tinfoil hat. I mean, it just gets real weird.
No thoughts get finished. It's like you
Yeah,
start telling a story about a turtle, you get distracted by something in the audio, start telling a story about a rabbit, you get distracted, start telling a story about having breakfast with grandma, and nothing ever gets finished.
that would be a great sketch idea. Like the theme that never finishes.
Okay, so hand 14. We're down to our last 3 hands of poker. This is moving quickly. I think
Oh
it's going to
wow.
be a fun video to watch for people, hopefully.
Yeah.
You work for an investment company, and your job is to spot good investment opportunities and make those deals while they are hot. It's understood that your transactions represent the higher risk, higher reward part of the portfolio. In other words, you're given some room to have some misses to encourage your general opportunistic verb, I guess. So it's customized for the ESTP. Now, I think LiJo might want to chime in here as a jurist on behalf of the TE people that the TE
Mhm.
is maybe more well suited to do this. But when I was thinking about an ESTP's specialty, this is what came to mind.
I think I agree with you though. A TE could pull it off, but you have to really be wanting to find those investments for yourself. And yeah, I think ESCP actually would be the better one there. And with that said, is action on me or
Yeah,
is it you?
you.
I'm gonna check.
Okay, I'm going to bet.
I'm going to fold.
Okay. I had ENTP, NETI.
Okay.
And I don't think actually that I'd be good at that at all, really. But I had
Hmm.
one of the cards, so I bet anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think ENTP. I think they might happen to hit one, or they might follow a trail of something they find interesting, and
I
um
just don't trust.
and hit it.
Yeah, I don't trust my NI enough. It takes NI to be able to spot those things. Even if it's fourth slot, at least it's instrumental in
Somewhere.
front stack. You know, you got
Hmm.
FETE, huh?
I have FETE. Yeah. So I think they would be good at following the trends and following, you know, like maybe what is on the rise or on the fall, but not particularly the best at actioning when is the right time to
It's
make those moves.
they're not going to pull the trigger, as they say.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go on to hand 15. Your job is to parse through complicated legal documents and explain them to family members in plain English. It's critical that all parties fully understand everything before anyone takes any action. So you could probably guess who this was customized for. Okay. But in case you can't, I will reveal it now. Yes, that's right. The mighty INTP, the Parseus of the legal languagey parsers. Okay. So,
Actions on you.
I'm going to bet.
I am going to call.
Okay. I got 1 point. I got NENI.
I got 1.2. I have SITI.
Okay, so it's a push. Who do you think would do better, SITI or NENI?
I think SITI.
I agree.
Honestly,
I agree.
yeah, because you need that sensory because we're talking about legal
Right.
legal documents. SI would be able to follow that and keep it in order.
I mean, the answer I think is maybe the TI is necessary to understand it all. The NE's crucial in making sure everybody understands it. In other words,
Yeah.
I'm a good teacher because I'm constantly going, in other words, and re-explaining the same thing in multiple ways so that
Multiple.
like
Yeah.
all the students get it or whatever. So that end of it, I think NE helps, but you would have to understand it first. Like NEFI would never be able to explain that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We're down to our last hand. This was LiJo's idea, by the way. This cardinal function poker. So I really like the idea. I think it's fun, and let's see what our last scenario is.
yeah.
Your job is to oversee the editor of a feature film, making sure that the editor chooses the right bits to include and doesn't include the wrong bits. The editor is touchy, though, so you need to be diplomatic. Okay, so in this case, it's customized, you may have been able to guess, for the INFJ, who needs that NI to be able to tell which bits are right or which bits are wrong, and who needs the FE to subtly inform the editor of what the editor should do without ruffling the editor's feathers. Okay. So, the action's on
All right.
you.
And I'm going to check.
I'll check as well. And I have FETI, so I figured, the problem here, what you really need most of all in this job is the NI. Because if you can't identify which are the right bits and the wrong bits, if your brain keeps going, well, maybe if you did include that, it could be interpreted like this, then you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, you have to know how you see the film being.
And what did you get?
I had FI. So we're doing a lot of introspection, and we're just going to choose the film. We're just going to make it what we like the most, and everyone else can suck it.
Now, I just want to say, before we make our closing remarks, that I structured this poker game as limit poker so that I'd have a better chance of beating LiJo. I'm sure if we were playing real poker, she'd whip my ass. But any closing comments on this before we wrap it up?
No, I think it was fun. Yeah, it's interesting to see how different functions would approach the same scenario. So I think we had a good conversation on both sides.
Me too. And I also want to just note again that I think it's really interesting. It would be interesting to see if this is in fact the case, that things that ENTPs are bad at are also the same things that ENTJs are bad at because of the same 4-7. Because that would seem counterintuitive, but with the same 4-7, it would seem also to make sense. So I think it's an
Hmm.
interesting thing that came up in the process of doing this.
Now we have to get the humans to actually play out the experiments. So we need to like get the foreign exchange student, we need to get Jill, and we need to like, put them in the scenarios and see how they actually react.
But to be really good about it, we got to be like not let them know that we're doing it. So it's a whole big secret
Hmm.
of conspiracy. It makes their whole life an experiment.
Yeah, like a Darren Brown kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
like a
Hmm.
Truman Show thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for watching so much, and I want to thank LiJo also for suggesting that I put this one up on my channel, which will help my channel for sure. And I'm going to offer you, LiJo, the opportunity to say the classic, delightful TWFP closing remarks.
No?
You
What?
don't remember what they are, huh?
Oh, remember to eat lots of cheese.
It's actually don't forget to eat plenty of cheese, but close enough. Thank,
Okay.
thank you, LiJo, and thanks you, audience, for watching.